Who's the person that surprised you the most in all of this?
Well, obviously, Ivan Glasenberg is one of the most colorful characters of the industry. But to me, the very interesting times were to talk to some of the old hands of the business, people who were the Ivan Glasenbergs of the 60s and the 70s and 80s. And some of them, they are 90-year plus old, but they are sharp. Their mind is very focused, and they tell you the stories of dealing with Saudi Arabia during the oil embargo, or the very early days of commodity trading after the Second World War, where everything was done by telegram, and where traveling around the world was a bit of an adventure. I mean, traders sometimes, we interviewed one trader who was 93 years old now, and was telling us about leaving home for 3 months for a trip to Africa.
I mean, it's just amazing. Javier, you also, I mean, I have to say, the book is beautifully written. It's not too long, so I urge everyone to pick it out. But at some point, you also describe how the pension funds of, teachers in Pennsylvania helped fund the war in Iraq or things like that. Like, some of these things just have not come to surface before now.
No, we reveal, for example, how American pension funds, was Pennsylvania, West Virginia, South Carolina, a few others, were investing on a vehicle through the Cayman Islands that was controlled by Glencore. And that vehicle was used to finance oil trade in Iraq, which has big political implications because it triggered a conflict between the Kurdistan region in the north and the central government in Baghdad. So that's one of the areas where you see, the traders having a political impact, but also engaging more and more with other investors, with institutional investors, even pension funds. And in many cases, regular people don't know even about the existence of their names.
What was the hardest thing to research, Javier? I know there's also a beautiful bit in the book where you basically, meet a trader or a senior executive who used to, I think, have like $500,000 in cash, literally just coming to London, possibly in a paper bag. Was that difficult, getting people to actually tell them, tell you maybe some of the bribes or some of the things they had to do to pay people off?
It was difficult to convince some of the people to talk. Tracing the history of the traders was very difficult. These companies don't usually like to talk a lot, and there are very few publicly accessible archives. You want to have the finance of these companies, you need to go to places like Cyprus and registries in Liechtenstein and Singapore, Dublin. So getting a lot of the financials was difficult, and then convincing everyone to speak and to convince them to speak on the record with their names was very difficult.